In the deciding trial, all testimony of sexual abuse was deemed inadmissible, the judge citing irrelevance. But now for the first time, another alleged victim of Jose Menendez is coming forward with accusations of sexual abuse.
What up, YouTube? It's the No Pigeon Podcast. We in the dove shack. And it's your host, Yako. Today we about to talk about a multitude of things all conglomerated into one. And that is documentaries, deception, and the Menendez brothers, right? And so I want to start this with, I'm sure like many people that kind of sometimes they get their faces with the crime docs. You know what I'm saying? The crime documentaries. And I learned early on, that's why I'd rather watch a lecture than a documentary. But lectures can be deceptive too. But a lot of these crime docs is basically people are just flexing their production, directing, and writing skills or narrating skills, because what they do is they find their opinion on a case, and they, to the best of their ability, they create this narrative that suits that case. Rarely do they just try to get to the bottom of things objectively, right? Like, you go back to Tiger King. I loved the Tiger King like every other person, you know what I'm saying? It was hilarious as fuck. You know what I'm saying? We was all saying free, what's his name? I forget his government, but the Tiger King. And we all said fuck Carol Baskins, right? And I don't know how true this is, but I heard recently, I think it was in the news too, that Carol Baskins' ex-husband was found alive. But for almost half a decade, motherfuckers was just, fuck Carol Baskin. And they probably still saying that, you know what I'm saying? So, and I agree, she's in some ways she is a hypocrite, right? But, and a loon. But is it true that she killed her husband? I don't know. I don't know anymore, right? And so I had watched a documentary on multiple documentaries on the Menendez brothers, right? And every single one created the narrative that they were just these spoiled rich brats. They just wanted to shine so bad that they decided to wipe out their family. You know what I'm saying? That was a narrative that they created, and that's a narrative that they pushed and convinced me of, along with millions of other people, right? Well, not today, sorry. This might have came out a month ago or something, I don't know. But sometime this year, there's new evidence exposing that the father actually was brutally molesting the children, or at least one of the sons, right? And it wasn't accepted when it was their testimony. It was thrown out of the court. But it was accepted when a member of Menudo, who his father was like, I guess, managed or created or something, because he was big in the music business. One of these dudes, as an adult now, finally came out and is openly saying this, that he was being touched by the dude. Mind you, these guys have been in prison for, what, since 97 or something like that? That's what, almost 30 years?
In the deciding trial, all testimony of sexual abuse was deemed inadmissible, the judge citing irrelevance. But now for the first time, another alleged victim of Jose Menendez is coming forward with accusations of sexual abuse. And it could mean a chance at freedom for the Menendez brothers.
Just a quick question. How often is it that, say a woman is in an abusive relationship and she ends up killing her husband, you know what I'm saying? In self-defense or just out of, mental crack? How often do they throw that woman's argument away? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious how often that happens, right? Because it almost seems like a cultural, there'd be a disdain for that judge if he did something like that.
Former Menudo band member Roy Rossello says he was molested by then head of RCA Records, Jose Menendez.
I know what he did to me in his house.
Rossello performed with the iconic Puerto Rican boy band from the age of 13 to 16. The group, known for giving Ricky Martin his start, was formed and managed by Edgardo Diaz. Rossello says Diaz also sexually abused him, and at one point brought him to Menendez's New Jersey home, where he says Menendez drugged and raped him.
First of all, that's disgusting and that's foul. You know what I'm saying? That's foul. But I remember in one of the documentaries where they say one of the brothers was ridiculed and mocked for going bald, for not maintaining his shape, for not staying in good lean shape. Doesn't that sound twisted to y'all? Like I know I have had friends that their parents were super into sports and they pushed it on them and they made sure they trained all the time and blase. But what about the bald thing? Ain't that kind of weird? It's almost like he was trying to make the kids look pretty for him. What? I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all have to remember, sometimes, yeah, there are sociopaths and psychopaths in society that will do that to their parents and whatever, right? But both kids? Both of them? Without even like disdain, not feeling any guilt, they just blowing the money after it happened? I mean, I don't know, man. Something didn't sound right from the get-go, but hey, I'm not a criminal psychologist, so.
That raped me. This guy, that's the pedophile.
How old were you there?
14 years old.
Journalists Neri Inclan and Robert Rand made the connection between Rosello and Menendez while working on another story.
He's also this key witness in this other spectacular crime.
We have found somebody who we believe was abused by your father.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I, frankly, to be honest, I feel horrible. It's sad to know that there was another victim of my father. You know, I always hoped and believed that one day the truth about my dad would come out. But I never wished for it to come out like this, the result of trauma that another child has suffered. And kind of makes me very sad. It was pretty overwhelming to hear that. We'd heard rumors that something might have happened with Menudo through the years. It's a remarkable thing that happened so many decades later. Of course, you know that would have made a difference at trial. Certainly, that would have made an enormous difference because the entire trial centered on the belief of these events. My dad was one of the guys that was choosing and selecting the new members of the group. I remember him specifically taking one of the kids, going off and saying he wanted to talk to him alone, and they went off into the house upstairs.
Maybe it's just me, maybe it's the conspiracy theorist in me, but it seems like the judicial system and the entertainment business have very, very strong ties. Very strong ties. Even going back to Michael Jackson, right? When there was an alleged victim of SA in the industry. I think it was Corey Feldman or Corey Haim, one of them. They came out. They went to a police in California somewhere, and he named names. He named names, and the cops just kept asking him about MJ. They kept asking about Michael Jackson, which is a very weird approach to take. Very weird approach to take, because he's naming names. And if for y'all who don't believe me, y'all can find that audio. Y'all can find that audio interview online. But the names that he mentions, for some reason, bleeped out. So people can only speculate at this point, because Corey himself, he ain't really telling, which is weird to me, but maybe he's worried about his life. I don't know what it is. Personally, I think maybe he might have done it to other people himself, because a lot of times with those abuse cases they also continue that cycle. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what's going on, and that's why he don't want to expose nobody. I don't know. But what I do know is that it seems there's some strong ties between the entertainment business and the judicial systems, right? Especially in California.
To breathe free air one of these days. First, they have to file the petition. The petition has to be reviewed by a Superior Court judge. The judge has to grant a new trial, and the defense has to win at trial. So those procedural and factual hurdles that's a big mountain to climb. Is this a glimmer of hope? It's a glimmer.
And that's tragic, man. That's tragic how deceptive documentaries are, because I was convinced that these guys were just some spoiled brats. They were just some spoiled brats that just, we want all the money for ourselves. We mad that daddy was mean to us. No, daddy was beyond mean. He was brutal. And why they probably took out the mother too? Because the mother was a part of it. The mother looked the other way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they were. I would have had that anger too. So it's a tragedy, and it's a shame that homeboy from Menudo just came out now, and he looked like he probably 50 or 60 now. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time they've been in there. It's a tragedy. It really is, right? And I don't know. I feel like I'm all for freedom of speech, but I feel like there needs to be some kind of regulation or something on these documentaries that just spew these false allegations and narratives that are same thing with the media. I feel the media should also deal with some repercussions because they just spew all this nonsense just for hype, just for clicks and views, right? And nowadays it's so hard for a jury to not be targeted by some of this stuff online where they see and then it sways their opinion on cases, right? It's almost like the top profile cases. How easy is it to find somebody that doesn't use the internet, that hasn't seen any information on it in the jury, right? Whether they take their phones away or not, they'll be in a hotel. They probably still somehow see TV or something like that, you know? But I don't know, man. It's tragedy, man. I hate to jump to the conclusions and jump to the say Freedom Menendez brothers. I'm not going to jump to say that yet because I don't know myself. What I do know is from what I've seen so far, it's a travesty. It's sad. And these grown men or these little boys, because they probably in a state of, you know what I'm saying? They've been locked up since children, and all they know in their adult life is, or not children, but young adults, and all they know in their full adult life and their middle ages is prison, right? Which is one of the most dysfunctional, psychologically tormenting places you could be at, or to form as an adult, right? Because they're going to come out and they're going to be traumatized, PTSD, and you name it, right? But anyways, y'all, this has been another one. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and hit the bell notification. You know what I'm saying? Hit us on Instagram, Twitter, Rumble, you name it. I've been slacking on uploading on Rumble, but y'all understand all the overwhelming stuff. I'm in school. I got to work. I got to edit these videos. You know what I'm saying? It takes forever to upload these videos sometimes. So, hey, man, it's been another one. Peace.